Global Business Development Manager for Intelligent Buildings and Strategic Alliances with the Siemon Company. I am very lucky to be joined today by Herbert Kigen. Herbert, how are you?
I'm good, Bob. How are you?
Good. Now, I understand you are the Honeywell Connected Buildings Sales Manager for East and West Africa. Is that right?
That's right, Bob. I do
Well,
cover countries in East Africa and English speaking in West Africa.
And where are you today? Where are you sitting as we do this podcast?
I'm Nairobi, capital city of Kenya.
That's awesome. And what I think is amazing about this is I'm sitting in Connecticut in the US. What a great thrill to be talking to somebody on the other side of the world. And not only talking to somebody on the other side of the world, but someone who is in intelligent buildings as well. And to see how similar really our thought process is when it comes to the design and the deployment of buildings. Maybe to get started here, Herbert, if you don't mind, can you give us a bit of a background on your experience leading up to where you are now and kind of what your role is within Honeywell now?
Yeah, sure. So right now, I'm the sales manager for East and West Africa. Again, covering all East African countries and English-speaking West African countries. My primary role is to promote business development and sales and drive growth in these two regions on building management and building control solutions, and as well as hospitality solutions, in particular guest room management system. I've been in this role for 4 years now in Honeywell, and prior to that, I was in a system integrator company. I was working as an engineer there. In totality, I have about 7 years experience in building controls, and I've been in this market trying to see and help customers help them improve on their energy consumption and on their building controls and everything. So I'm really excited, and that's a snapshot of what I've been doing.
That's great. That's a wonderful background. So you hit on something good there, helping customers, because I feel like when working in the intelligent building space, the primary driver is helping customers solve problems, whether that's energy, whether that's comfort, whether that's productivity. When you wake up in the morning, what is your personal mission in how you help your customers?
Good question, Bob. So we look at the trend in the market. We look at how do customers spend their energy. What is the cost of their energy? How can they improve on their building efficiency and improve the overall value of their buildings? So, of course, we are trying to help customers now cut down on that cost, and in doing so, directly we try to give them solutions that best suit their needs. We look at their current energy consumption. We look at where they want to be in future. We discuss with them, and we give them a building solution, either BMS or guest room management system or lighting control, which ideally has an excellent ROI. I would say we're looking at an average cost of electricity in East and West Africa, not less than 15 cents a kilowatt hour. So that's expensive electricity, in my opinion.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
Yeah. So that is the direction where we do. Also, there's a lot of effort towards energy efficiency by some governments, including the Kenyan government, whereby buildings are required to adhere to some certain regulations. They have to do energy audits once every 3 years. They have to try and reduce energy consumption or energy wastage by about 30%. And one way definitely to do that is investing in a system that gives you a good payback and a return on your investment.
Can you describe a little bit about what makes up that system? Because I think intelligent building technology is great, but I think one of the things that people from outside the industry don't understand is, as great as the technology is, it really works best when it's put together. It's almost like a puzzle, right? Having a lighting control is great, but when you can tie that in with an integration platform or with some of the guest room management systems like that, that's really where you start to see your returns and see the benefit for the owners and the occupants.
Yes, definitely. If you look at all the buildings around here, controls is always there, but then what level of control you find if you have in a building, you have several systems, subsystems. You have pumps, you have chillers, you have lighting control, you have definitely there's a control there, but the customers don't achieve the full benefit of these systems until they tie them up together. You have a simple star delta control system for a pump to bring it on and off, but you don't monitor how it's running, how efficient it is. You don't monitor how much energy it's consuming. You don't proactively see if or proactively predict if there's going to be a failure. So when you provide a building management system, ideally, it ties into all these subsystems, lighting control being the one of the simplest solution of them all. Pumps, all mechanical equipment control, you do sub-metering, and then you bring them all onto one platform. It looks like a puzzle, but when it's done nicely and when it's done to achieve the purpose, definitely customers can start to understand it. It's not been accepted yet so widely in this region. Yes, it's a new technology. It's still very, very young. It's in formative stages, but we can see now all the new buildings have BMS and guest room management system being specified because customers are starting to understand the benefits.
And I like the puzzle analogy because, when you open a puzzle box, it doesn't make sense. But when you put it together, people frame them, right? They're beautiful. And that's really what you're talking about, bringing these together.
Yep.
So there's two sides to intelligent buildings. There's the construction side, and you're talking about new technology. And I found that it's not even so much new technology. It's taking existing technology and putting it together in a new way to have better benefit for the customer. And then there's the operational side, and we talk about FM a lot, facilities maintenance. Tell me about how the analytics, the data, having that integration platform, the sensor network, how is that changing the way people are doing their facility maintenance?
Okay, so probably throwing in an example here, you find we have several malls coming up in East Africa or recently constructed in East Africa. And all these malls, as I say, like any other buildings, they are huge energy consumers. So the data they pick out of these systems, like how much energy is being consumed from this from their utilities in the building, helps them actually proactively know how much they are going to spend in the next coming month when they monitor in real time. And they also end up, it goes back, it drives down to how much customers end up paying at the end of the month when it comes to the cost for the common areas and costs for So
is that because we can in real time these intelligent systems can cool spaces based on the actual occupancy rather than, I know a set point comes into play, but if you have 10 people in a space versus 1,000 people in a space, you're going to cool that differently.
Yes. Using cooling in this region might not be how the customer understands it, because we are blessed with a perfect climate over here. We're looking at 20 to 23. Yeah, 20 to 23 degrees Celsius all year round. Even when it's cold, we are talking about 18 degrees Celsius. So cooling might not be the way customers understand the system, but they might look at other perspectives. It might just be normal exhaust, even
so like CO2 management.
Yeah, CO2 or even smoke, even smoke from the areas that like food court areas in malls. There's a way they kind of
air quality.
Exactly. So air quality. So air quality will affect occupancy comfort. My experience, if I go to a mall and it's a bit stuffy, not cold, not hot, not cold, but stuffy, might not be the best experience that I would want to go through. So major energy consumers here will be in terms of cooling are maybe extractor fans or supply fans, or they may not be cooling, but all these, you're looking at a 7.5 kilowatt motor. If you run this motor all year round, 24 hours, you don't monitor air quality to try and control how this fan runs, you're wasting energy, you're putting energy down the drain. So that's how our customers tend to understand the BMS system, what it does. But in other regions like West Africa, in Nigeria in specific, their biggest city, Lagos, there's a lot of cooling. And if you try and adjust the set point as per the outdoor conditions and occupancy level, then there you have a lot to save.
And so here in the U.S., when I talk to facility managers and things like that, and I look back historically, they're constantly telling me, we maintain our building based on the calendar. Maybe it's every 12 months they change all the filters on their pieces of equipment and things like that. I found now that analytics is changing that model to more of a prescriptive maintenance model is the buzzword for it, but a need-based maintenance model. Are you seeing that same impact in your territories, your regions?
Oh yes, we have this we have a solution as Honeywell which we are offering for such requirement. There is a trend going in that way, in that direction. However, it's not a big market, I can tell you. It's not a big market. It's not a big portfolio. But yes, there's a solution, and it's now moving even to cloud-based solution, whereby we're using online analytics. We're using analytics in real time, whereby you're looking at not even one building, but you're comparing how is this building comparing to the other building, even not necessarily the same tenants or the same owners. So you're trying to ensure that buildings within even the same city perform optimally together.
Awesome. What does Honeywell call that? Do you know offhand?
I'm trying to.
I can date myself. I started with, as I told you, I was with Honeywell years ago, and at the time they had a tune. Is that still the name for it? That was the analytic software.
No, there's a new software. It's platformed on the Microsoft Azure.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah. So, well, we might as well segue that into you guys have the Healthy Buildings launch coming up. Tell me about that.
Actually, we've already launched it, right? So we have cool products coming up in the market. You'll be seeing, including electronic filters for buildings. So we're moving from now the traditional bag filters and bag filters and the other type of filters used in buildings, whereby we now have electronic filters. We have UV lights for use in buildings, which includes hotels and commercial buildings. I'm excited. I'm excited about this new product. We're looking at less energy consumed in cooling a building or in maintaining the quality of air in a building. So when you use an electronic filter, for instance, the pressure drop across the filter is way less than the pressure drop across the electronic filter is way less than the pressure drop across a bag filter. In that sense, therefore, you have to run the fan or the fan, ideally the primary fan, at a less power, because the pressure drop across the filter is less. So which means you're saving little, but it goes on a long way.
Less resistance there, so less power to push the air through. Yep, totally.
A couple of solutions for that.
Looking at the global current events, it's hard to ignore the COVID issues. How have you seen that impact what you're doing in the building space? Have your customers have they had different demands or fears about their buildings? How's Honeywell responding to that to help in the building environment?
Great question. So again, region by region, there's a different response and different customer requirements. But speaking specifically across East Africa and how our customers responding to that, we are now seeing a lot of investment in the healthcare industry. And in that case, people are, specifically looking, the conversation on healthy buildings is gaining momentum. The conversation on, safety in those buildings, not just healthy, but safety in those buildings. We're looking at hospitals now going into developing their wards to be in a way that you can easily flip from being a general ward to an isolation ward. So the needs of customers is now changing. Everybody is now very, very cautious about who enters the buildings. We're now seeing in each new construction specification of thermal cameras as you enter the building. That never used to be the case. So even in the transport sector, everything is just becoming a little bit more different. People are becoming more conscious about their safety and and comfort of staff and whoever is occupying that space.
And that makes it more important to have this integration platform in your building from day one, because I would assume that if you have an existing building, having an in-place integration platform is going to make these adjustments to external conditions much easier.
Definitely, you know, we have the habit in this region of having to employ or have somebody run around with a spanner or a screwdriver trying to fix the system after the other. You can imagine you having a 20-story building. You cannot achieve that by having 20 different people running around. So if you have a single platform of integration, being a proper BMS system which integrates again your aircon systems, even your UV or air quality monitors, or all the subsystems look at in the room, in the building. So if you have one single platform, you can just send a command. You can monitor everything from one platform. That is what customers want. That is what everybody wants.
That's great. That's really great insight. I appreciate you sharing that. So, I mean, if people want to start to learn more about, especially people who are managing buildings or building owners, things like that, if they want to learn more about the things we're talking about, the benefits of integration, energy reduction, all those sorts of things, obviously they can reach out to you. They can reach out to me. But if they wanted to do something else, where can we point people to get kind of a little bit more training or insight on the things we're talking about?
Oh, great. So we have online portals we are setting up. There are some which are already open for customers. They get this information. So if you're already a system integrator within Honeywell, they're already receiving direct notifications on upcoming webinars. There are trainings which we keep on giving on a regular basis. But besides that, we also do organize for face-to-face training session, lunch and learn sessions. But right now, because of COVID, of course, that becomes a challenge. So
it does.
It does become, yeah. So right now, everything is now going onto the over the internet. So trainings are available on online portals. I can share some online some links to those portals. But yeah, there's also a mailing list. And in case you need anything also, you can just contact myself directly locally here, and I will point you to the right person.
And you don't mind talking to architects and consultants, other customers, or other partners in the intelligent building space, right? You'll talk to all those folks and help them understand better. That's great.
Yeah. We try to go directly to the end user, because it's the end user who lives with the building cost or the building for the rest of their life. Ideally, we target the building owners, we target the architects. We want to help them and make sure that it's easier for them to make specifications. We want to talk to consultants, make sure that they have a proper understanding of the solutions, just proper healthy building initiative. And if they want a solution, we have a perfect solution for their requirements.
That's great. So in wrapping up here, Herbert, any closing thoughts you'd like to make? If you want to give people one last little takeaway that's going to say, Honeywell, their connected building solution, and of course the Siemon company who's co-hosting here, these are the partners we need to take a look at our existing buildings or our new construction projects. Give me your last thoughts on that.
I don't know. I didn't get your question well. Can you probably repeat?
Absolutely. Just some closing thoughts. These are going to be your last thoughts that people are going to take away from our webinar. Kind of sum it all up in a nice, easy sentence or two.
Okay, great. So my thought, my wrapping comments will be, right now the world is changing. Everybody is moving into newer technologies. You want to make your building valuable. You want to improve the overall appearance. You want to improve the comfort of your guests, be it a commercial building, be it a hotel. I think it's time now to really approach and accept and embrace the new technologies that are coming forth. If you don't, then I'm pretty sure the world is going to overtake you. For healthcare system, you look at how you can easily adjust or how you can easily respond to pandemics. You look at how you can easily respond to epidemics. So you have to look ahead I think the way to construct now has changed. It has become dynamic. You have to make sure that your building is more efficient and it's healthy. So and we're here to support you. So nothing much then, Bob. That'll be my closing.
Yeah. You know, it takes a village, right? It takes so much more than one company. Here at the Siemon company, we manufacture the layer 1 infrastructure, your category cable, patch panels, connectors, and so on, which is specially designed to support intelligent building deployments. And it takes pieces from all parts of the building industry to make this happen. But when it does, it's a great experience for the occupants, for the owners, as well as the ongoing management of those buildings.
Yeah.
So again, I'm Bob Allan with the Siemon Company, Business Development Manager for Intelligent Buildings and Strategic Alliances. A special thank you to Herbert Kigen, Sales Manager for East and West Africa, Honeywell Connected Buildings. Herbert, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Bob. Have a good day.